Hello and welcome to Dr. Yakman's Nintendo Power Checklist. This will be for the year 2008. We're getting closer to the end. Future has already taken over publishing of the magazine, and you will see a sharp decline in certain things, and you'll hear a lot of commentary from me because I did not like the way that they were doing certain things, especially from a collector's standpoint and a subscriber's standpoint. But here we go. This is the first volume, January 2008. It's volume 224. You got Ninja Gaiden DS, or Dragon Sword, on the front cover there. And in this volume is a tear-out poster folded. It's got a white blank background. Again, take a look at my notes on my blogger. I've got a text checklist that also has all of these videos in order as I do them. Something that I forgot to note on the front cover here is up in the upper right hand corner, they've got the 20th anniversary Nintendo Power 1988 to 2008. This is on pretty much all the volumes for the remainder of this year. This was a perforated poster, like I was trying to say before, and it's got a blank background or backing to it. So next volume is volume 225, February 2008. Sonic, it says Sonic RPG, but it's Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. And again, you have this up in the right-hand corner there. And this one has a centerfold, not tear-out poster, of Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. And on the back of that is also Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. Next volume already. You will see a theme with most of these volumes. There's either no poster or they've got a poster and that's all they've got. So you'll see that. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. This is March 2008, volume 226. This was a big deal. A Bully coming to Wii. That was pretty cool. Rockstar was still, even though this was basically an upgraded port of the PlayStation 2 game, this was kind of cool that they did this. So this is the front of the centerfold and the back of the centerfold. All right, next volume already. This one has nothing extra with it. It's volume 227 of April 2008. It has Mario Kart Wii on the cover. And then we've got volume 228 of May 2008, Final Fantasy IV. Now this, I believe, is one of the first times that Nintendo Power and Nintendo themselves of America acknowledges that it's 4, not 2. Originally, when they first published these games, they only brought over the first Final Fantasy in America on NES, even though there was 3 of them on the Famicom over in Japan. And then on Super Nintendo, the first one was Final Fantasy 2, but over in Japan it was actually Final Fantasy 4. But this was a DS version. It's like the Super Nintendo one, but with I think it's a little bit better graphics. They added some, I think, cutscenes and maybe even voice acting. I can't remember. I don't know. I'm not a big Final Fantasy nut, but for you guys out there that are, there's that. We are on to the next volume already. Yes, there was no posters or inserts or anything with that volume. And neither is for this one. This one's just a general music games. The music game genre was kind of crazy, going crazy back then. This was June 2008, volume 229. This is the one that I would note the most, is Samba de Amigo. And that had nothing extra with it. same thing with this one. Volume 230, July 2008. And then this is Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Hopefully I'm saying the name of that right. I was really into the Castlevania Circle of the Moon and the ones that were on Game Boy Advance. It's what they call Igavanias because Igarashi was the main director of those games. This one was the one that was on DS, and hey, good for that. On to the next volume. Now here's where things kind of change. They say, oh, this is the 20th anniversary, even though they already denote that on all the volumes for this whole year because it was 2008 and 88 is when Nintendo Power Magazine started. But I think that the future was kind of like, I don't know if they should be. I mean, it's still the same magazine, but it has already changed a lot. Mad World is a great game, by the way. This magazine came bagged, and I'll show you the bag in a moment. I usually only took a picture of the bag if there was something special on the bag. Sometimes they would have a bag that would just be just a plain bag. And then other times this was like a cellophane wrapper it had like a artwork and shininess all over it and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is volume 231 for August 2008. And Nestor, I have never noted the Nestor comics being in there before because it was just kind of like a mainstay of the magazine for the first couple of years. And then it just kind of went away, but they brought it back because it's the 20th anniversary with a new kind of Nestor style. And now he has a son and they're reading Nintendo Power Magazine and he's talking about the Power Glove and the Virtual Boy and all that. Whatever. This, I don't think, carries the spirit of Nestor because Nestor was kind of fashioned after Howard Phillips, who was the number one Nintendo Power or number one Nintendo American enthusiast back then, probably in my opinion still is. But he was kind of the poster boy for Nintendo of America and Nintendo Power Magazine and the Nintendo Fun Club newsletter before that. Anyways, I don't really think that this captures it very well, but they're trying. I think Future Publishing really was like, oh, we've got all this nostalgia to carry us through bad decisions, and that's this came with a centerfold, 20 years of Nintendo Power Magazine, of course, and on the back of that is, the iconic first couple of steps of Super Mario Brothers 20th anniversary. And then later in the volume, there is a Mushroom Men trading card set. Now, the Mushroom Men has a much longer title, but I'm just going to list it as Mushroom Men. I think it's like, oh man, I can't remember. The Rise of the Fungi, the Spore Wars. So it's whatever. Mushroom Men had like a weird following, and I liked that it was an original concept for the Wii, which most third parties or even bigger ones, smaller ones, doesn't matter. They were just putting shovelware on the Wii, so I appreciate this. I never personally played it. I will play it someday because I do think that it's one of those things that I missed back then, and I should take a look at. But yeah, there's some little trading cards they put in there. Now that's Nintendo Power tradition. This is folded in the middle, so it looks kind of bad. But this was the bag that the volume came in, and I'm not too sure. There was no like inserts in the magazine, except for, this is something that I'll note, whether you got the subscriber versions of Future Publishing magazines, whether it was Nintendo Power Magazine or anything else, there was like shit tons of subscriber cards in there. Whether you were already a subscriber or you got the newsstand one. They had so many of those shoved in there. Whether they sent them to you through the mail or whether you got them at the store, you know. And it didn't need a bag. It wasn't holding anything that was loose, but it came with a bag. Cool. 20th anniversary issue. Now we're on to the next volume, which is Sonic and the Black Knight on the cover of volume 232, September 2008. Wow, we're already blowing through this year, aren't we? Notice there was no like posters. There usually was at least always a centerfold. There was, you know, a couple of years where they lacked on a centerfold here and there, but this nearly this whole year, there's hardly any kind of inserts at all, let alone even just a centerfold. But anyways, that was the case again. Didn't come with centerfold, but this volume right here, whoa, we'll give you a centerfold, a poster, and a like a centerfold ad, and I'll show you. But this is the cover. It's Wario Land Shake It, which is October 2008, volume 233. It has Sonic Chronicles, the Dark Brotherhood. What was going on with Sonic back then? I just don't understand. Anyways, and then on the back of that, there is like a map, Green Hill Zone. I should put that in my notes. Then Mushroom Men again. This one was a tear-out poster, though, not a centerfold. And on the front, it's an ad for Mushroom Men, of course. And then on the back, there is like mushroom classification chart. So, yeah. All the different mushroom men, I guess. And then there was like a 2-page ad centerfold for Mystery Case Files, Million Hair, get it? Millionaire? Million Air. I said hair, like a rabbit. Anyways, and then that's the back of it, or the front of it, depending on what direction you were coming from in the magazine. Yeah, so there's that. There was 3 inserts this time. Woo! Look out. And this one also had a bag as well. It said preview special for Wii and DS. It didn't really make sense because, again, there was no real inserts that could have fallen out. They usually only bagged them if they came with inserts that fell out. This is... they didn't really start doing the big differences. I believe this is I don't know if this was a subscriber one. I think this was a... because at this point, my subscription had fallen out. I was falling on hard times, and I had to get them through my job at Blockbuster at the time or whatever, or collect them later. But anyways, on to the next volume. This blood in her nose and the bloody eyes and the slit wrists and everything. It's not funny, but it's funny. That was not me. This was somebody else. I bought this later. This is the subscriber edition. Now, this is the first time that I noticed that they had a clear difference between subscriber edition covers and newsstand edition covers. And this is where I'm going to have my long diatribe. I'm going to repeat everything that I've written on my Blogger checklist here. But this is November 2008, volume 234, and Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. This was a big deal. They were really trying to get Rockstar over onto the Wii, and they did it with the DS with this Grand Theft Auto game. But then Rockstar turns around and does the same thing on, well, not the exact same game, but a Grand Theft Auto game on PSP. But whatever, that was a whole other discussion. Sorry, I had to take a sip. Dry throat. But you'll notice here in the lower left-hand corner, it'll tell you a subscriber, and it'll tell you the month and year, and it'll also, in bold letters here, it'll have the volume number. That's kind of convenient, especially when you think about earlier volumes in the magazine where they probably didn't know where it was going with the bi-monthly to monthly to, everything else. They didn't really number them neatly. This is neat. But you'll notice that the cover is different than the subscriber cover. So this is the subscriber cover, and this is the newsstand cover. That when it shows this future barcode here, that makes me think that that's why this one is not a subscriber one. But this is the first time that I noticed that the binding was different and that it actually said subscriber like written on the magazine. So this is right where Future decides, hey, there's going to be two different volumes or two different editions of each volume going forward. And this is true. They did this all the way until they ran it into the ground. There was a subscriber edition and a newsstand edition. Now, the difference is with the subscriber one was, like I said, this little box down here. It has clean art, usually the full art, no ads or like text all over the place in the on the cover. And then the newsstand edition would like have you either zoomed in on the artwork or a piece of the artwork or changed artwork that was not as clean and had all of this other stuff, you know, all around it like they had in the past. So, but you'll also notice something else here, which will piss off subscribers and piss off collectors. Free posters. Wait a minute. So the subscribers don't get the poster, but the newsstand people do. They basically want you to buy the magazine twice. They want you to buy it through subscribing for it, and they also want you to buy it again on the newsstand, which only crazy people like me did as a collector. And inserted in this was one of these fake, it says advertisement at the top there, but these fake Nintendo Power cover things for Spectrobes. Now this one probably had a bag because this was just a loose thing. It was not perforated. It was not like inserted or like attached to the magazine. It was just kind of tucked in there. But anyways, this probably had a bag, but there was nothing special about the bag, or I don't have the bag for this. But this was the big deal poster that came with it. It is a more full-size folded poster that was perforated for you to tear out. And on the front is Clash of the Ninja Revolution 2 of Naruto and Path of the Ninja 2. So one was on Wii and the other one was on DS, Naruto. So now we're on to the next volume. I've already kind of given a diatribe, and this is a continuing thing, the subscriber edition and the newsstand edition. You have December 2008, but it's not over with yet. This is volume 235, Animal Crossing City Folk. Such a great game. I got more into the I got into the DS one a little bit, but I got more into this one, the City Folk, than the Wild World. So, and again, here's this little organized thing down here. That's one good addition to the magazine. That's for subscribers. Now, this one, to my knowledge, had the insert for the advertisement for Nerf N-Strike in both the subscriber one and in the newsstand edition. So, there you go. And this is that insert that I'm talking about. It's like a 2-page centerfold. It's made to look like a confidential, case file. And then you open it up on the other side, and it's, advertising the Nerf gun, peripheral light gun thing. Should have been a lot more light gun games, and there should have been past light gun games that were ported over to the Wii, but totally missed opportunity. But Nerf did it. And then, oh no, December's not the end of the year. No, we've got the holiday, 2008. Now, they did the holiday for 2007, and that was labeled as the first holiday one. And here's a new tradition thanks to Future. And it's nice to have an extra volume as a subscriber, 13 instead of 12. But here's the problem again. You've got differences between the subscriber one and the newsstand one. So you can see the cover's a bit different. This cover is kind of like just a mismatch. I call it the year-end reviews blowout because that's what the binding says on the cover, or on the magazine. But the subscriber one didn't get the posters. The newsstand one got 2 free posters. Woo! This is kind of a cool poster. It's from artwork from, like, I think the Death Note creator, because he worked on the artwork for this Castlevania Judgment game. It was kind of like trying to be like Castlevania meets Power Stone, like a fighting game. Kind of goofy. Castlevania fans didn't like it. Like real Castlevania fans, I guess. And then a more traditional Castlevania, like side-scrolling adventure, is the one that was on DS, Order of Ecclesia. That's on the back of that poster, tear-out poster. And then here's another tear-out poster. This is Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. They were trying to take the GameCube role of the RPG-esque Pokemon games and put them on DS as well. And then on the back of that is a map of Almia here in Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. So, I don't know if it had Shadow Pokemon in it. I never played it, so I couldn't tell you. Now here is the year 2008 from just about here where I'm noting with my finger and to just about here. And you'll see going forward, as 2009 and going forward, there is a white and then a black and then a white and then a black and then a white and then a black. That is because the white ones are the subscriber ones, and they'll note that right here with these color bands. That's a subscriber. And the black ones are the newsstand ones. They don't say newsstand, but that's what they are. And they don't have like the white binding, and they don't have the little colored thing that notes that they are. It's like as if they were trying to make the subscriber ones look cooler, but on the inside you got more as a newsstand buyer. And to me, that's really downhill from there. When it comes to Nintendo Power Magazine. And I'm sorry to harp on that so much, but as a collector, this was very difficult. It's kind of cool in one way because it's like, oh, wow, I've got all of them, including all of the alternate covers. Because in some cases, the covers were way different from between the subscriber and the newsstand ones. And most of the time, they were pretty much the same. It's just one was zoomed in, or one was a clean cover, and the other one was had the full artwork, or this, that, or the other. But I will talk about, I've already noted that kind of stuff on my blogger checklist, and I'm surely talk about this again going into 2009 because they continue this habit. So thanks for watching, and sorry this was so complainy, but again, as I'm making this checklist for collectors out there, and I have found that a lot of people don't even, once they get to this point in the magazine, they don't even want to collect after this. They might want the last issue, or they might want a couple of special issues here and there. But on top of this, Future Publishing also decided every other month or so, in some cases, they would release another, like a posters thing, or a spring volume, or a year-end buyer's guide, or a Zelda Nintendo Power Magazine. And these were just like special supplemental things that none of the subscribers got. There was no organization to it. You couldn't like go online and order it back then, and you certainly can't do it now, because it's sad to think about, but it'll be 15 years here soon since this started, and then it's been about, let's see here, it'll be close to 10. It was over 10 years since the magazine ended. So, wow, man, now all of a sudden I feel sad. So stop listening to me. You'll get depressed. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next month with 2009. You know, the magazine went to 2012. After that, I'm going to do specials about those extra supplemental volumes. I'm going to do specials about all of the players guides or strategy guides that they made, and I'm going to do specials about the Superpower Supplies catalog and other things that were noted with Nintendo Power that weren't necessarily related to the magazine, or were not. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Hopefully by the end of this year, I will be done with the main line of the magazine. And again, next month will be 2009. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.